First, Judy, Brenner, David, Jeffrey, Tigger, thank you for the opportunity for all of us and the honor to speak here. But Al, we'd much rather be having lunch with you, trust me. So many thoughts went through my mind in thinking about today and thinking about Al, the joy of his friendship. One in particular stood out for me. It was 10 years ago next month that many of us celebrated Al's 70th birthday just down the street at the University of Maine Library, coincidentally named after Al and his family. At that point, the disease had started to take its toll on Al's mobility. Al, surrounded by his family, sat at one end of the room with a giant smile on his face, watching so many people celebrate his birthday. Many of Portland's most eloquent speakers, many of whom are here this afternoon, stood up to talk about Al. Praise is actually a better word, to praise Al. Al's contributions to his hometown, his business success, his charitable endeavors, his political involvements. They painted a beautiful picture of Al. I waited my turn to speak, but after listening to the poetic eloquence of all of these people, decided I would hold my words for a later time. But I had many things I wanted to say to Al, and I stopped by the house the next day to speak to him and let him know my thoughts. And I don't know why we often save occasions like this or birthdays to tell people what we really feel, but that seems to be the case. But I wanted him to know what I was thinking. As I walked up to the steps, the front door was open, and Brenner was leaving to go back to Houston with his family. And Al was at the door, and I heard Al turn to Brennan and say, "I love you, son." And Brenner turned to Al and say, "I love you, Dad." They kissed each other and then held on and hugged each other for what seemed an interminable amount of time. Apparently, I now understand that you both love the smell of garlic. But it was a picture that lasted, in my mind, throughout the entire period in the last 10 years of Al. The buildings in his name, the political involvement of Al, the presidents who have sought his advice, the corporate titans he has skied with, all are important. But it is his devotion to his family. As Al began to forget many, many things, during lunches we would have or times that we would meet, he always remembered the name of his 18 grandchildren. Those were the most important people to him, his family, his wife, his children, his grandchildren. His devotion to them is a picture that is left in my mind, and I think the minds of everyone who know Al. Al, we love you. Barbara loves you. My children, Abby and Todd, love you, and we'll miss you every day. And I'm sorry that the hundreds and thousands of people whose lives you have made better will not have the opportunity to know you and know the joy of your friendship.